Here's how I would have fixed Game of Thrones, the last episode at least, without having to go back and fix that disastrous season. So I would have still had the conversation with Jon Snow and Arya. That conversation was fine. Would have also had the conversation with Tyrion, but the conversation would have been very, very, very different. It would have been Jon recognizing that Daenerys was crazy. It wouldn't be Tyrion beating it into his head. It would have been them agreeing. Jon wouldn't be a whiny bitch. He would be agreeing with Tyrion. They would be conversating about what he has to do. You know, he's still reluctant, but he recognizes that he has to do something. Okay. Here's how I would have had Jon kill Dany in the throne room. I would have had Jon go up there. Now, Grey Worm is already standing next to her. She's not by herself. Jon tries to reason with her. She just completely berates him. She calls him a bastard and accuses him of being a usurper. Jon takes a step forward. Grey Worm then gets in his way. Jon tells him to get out of his way and that he's not going to ask him again. Grey Worm does not budge. Jon would then nod his head, pull out his sword. They would fight. It would be a great battle. He would end up killing Grey Worm. Then Daenerys would go completely crazy, attack Jon with a dagger, try to kill him. He's wrestling her. He realizes he has no choice, and then he has to stab her, and he kills her. Then I would have had Drogon come in. Same thing. He sees that Dany's dead. Drogon goes crazy. Drogon then tries to burn Jon, but Jon does not burn because he's a Targaryen. Then Drogon just burns the Iron Throne, flies away. Jon then takes Dany's body. He walks out. The Dothraki are there. The Unsullied are there. They see him with the body. The Dothraki then recognize him as the Khal, which is what's supposed to happen because he defeated Dany, who was the Khal. They recognize Jon as the new Khal, but the Unsullied want to kill Jon. All hell breaks loose. They start fighting amongst each other. Then everybody else comes in. You know, the North, everybody. And they just clean up the mess between the Dothraki and Unsullied. Eventually, after all the mess is cleaned up, they have that meeting with all the lords. They tell Jon he's the king because they all know he's the true heir, etc. But Jon, like Master Aemon did, he gives up his right to become king. And he passes it to Sansa. He chooses Sansa as his successor. Then Jon rides up to the north. He's reunited with Ghost and the Wildlings, Tormund, everyone. And that's the end of his story. But what the hell do I know? I'm just a guy that talks shit on YouTube. So you guys let me know what you think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. This is Mike from Bensonhurst. Keep banging.